Welcome to another exciting episode of QuikFret Unlocked podcast. Today's episode is something amazing. And as you know, here on QuikFret, we shed light on real life stories, challenges, and innovation happening in the logistics and trade sector in Rwanda and East Africa. Today, we have a special guest, someone that I have learned that has great experience, but maybe if I can talk a little bit of what he has done. He is the CEO and founder of Songa Logistics, which is a Kigali-based and freight forwarding customs brokerage company founded since 2018 and has become a trusted partner. He holds a lot of professional designation, including the CMILT, and has demonstrated his recognition among transport and logistics excellence. His leadership has been shown in various sectors, and he has had high performance customer support for trade in Rwanda, across and beyond. Welcome to today's episode, Dr. Songa. It's such a great honor. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. Now, I'm very curious. I want to know, how did you start? How did you decide to get into this sector? Were there any gaps that you saw that you wanted to solve? Where did you start?
Yeah, actually, I started in this sector after I completed my high school studies. Then it was 2004.
Okay.
So during all this journey of almost 21 years, I've been in this industry, in this logistics industry in Rwanda. So basing on the many different knowledge that I have acquired, so I decided to start my own business. So that's why I have started this Songa Logistics.
So when you started your business, usually, at least from people I've seen, when they're starting a business, they're trying to close a gap, or they see a problem that they're trying to solve. What gaps did you notice in the freight system that you were trying to solve at the time?
Oh, yeah, it was this for me, logistics business. I take it as a baby born, because in some 5 years back, logistics was not well known by most of the people, and the professionalism was not really a matter. But as I was becoming an expert or a professional, so I decided to come to fix some gaps that have been there for the gaps that have been there, which is implicating the loss of the revenues, the corrections, or the process, the procedures, documentations that have been handled by people who were not professional. So in that case, basing on my professionalism, I say if I start my own business, I can do it more better than others, because I put much effort in acquiring more knowledge in logistics terms, in logistics knowledge.
Okay. So now I would want to know what key milestones have helped you establish your company as a trusted logistics provider in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Are there any maybe projects you have acquired and that which has led to being trusted as a logistics company?
Yeah. Before I started my own business,
okay,
I worked for many different big companies.
Yes.
So I have been in Majera for 5 years.
That's
5 years,
long.
yes. As a branches manager or branches coordinator. I used to coordinate all the branches for Majera Limited. I have been import and export manager for ABG or Akagera Business Group. So from there, from those different big companies, I've been in Interfreight. I've been in Interfreight for 2 years. I've been managing director for one Chinese company. The Rwandan company, local company, but owned by Chinese, named the Summit International Logistics. I was a managing director. So from those different big companies, so I acquired more knowledge, which helped me to get the idea to start my own business.
Nice. Now let's bring it a bit to today. In your perspective, what are the major pain points in customs clearing today, especially for startups or SMEs or exporters? What are the main issues you have noticed?
Yeah, the main issue which is there, it's about, you see, there are some requirements like documentations that this like which is required by some stakeholders. So sometimes the startup or SMEs, they don't get those documentation because they produce a very little quantity, and sometimes they cannot get this standardization. Like another point is about the cost. You see, the more you export, the more you transport, or you export more quantity, so this logistic cost is shared on the quantity. So when you export small quantity, it means that the pricing will be high.
So the more you export, the less the pricing?
Yes, the more you export, the less price, because the costs are shared on the quantity.
I see.
You see?
Yes.
So if you export a very little quantity, it means that your pricing will be high and you will not be able to compete on international market.
Okay.
That's the main challenge. Another point also, it's about financing. You see, for this small SMEs, it's not easy to get the finance. You see, so also it's a challenge for them because they don't have enough capital to handle all these transportation costs, the payment of customs duties and other things.
Yeah.
So it's also a challenge.
Okay, I like that you have touched on those pain points. So now in the world we are living in, we are seeing the word technology almost every day. In your perspective, how can technology help solve such issues when it comes to ports, warehousing, and of such issues?
Yeah, for that, it means that from my point of view, it's all about automation.
I see.
Automation. If the ports are automized, so the process would be going smoothly.
Yeah.
So the information will be providing on the time. So automation is the key.
And it will save time.
Yeah, very.
Because I know these things take time.
Yeah. If all things are automated, it means that it will take it will stimulate the process, stimulate documentation. All things will be stimulated, and the information will be provided on time.
So when it comes to exports, I know you deal with some goods that don't have high risk, but specifically high risk products. How do you ensure that the efficiency and compliance when dealing with them?
What we do, it's about you see, for the high risk goods, you have to pay attention, and what you have to do, it's about tracking. There is what we call tracking system. You have to track those cargo, and also you have to put some other mechanism like to put sales, and also we have to make sure we know which kind of cargo are on high risk and which kind of cargo which are not on high risk. You see, so that's what you have to first to know them. If you know them, that's where you would know how to treat them.
Okay.
Sometimes you can even not know that the goods are on high risk.
Yes.
You treat them as a normal cargo.
Yeah.
So if you know first you know that they are on high risk, and then for that time you will know how to handle them. Sometimes when the cargo are on high risk, they even get escorted.
Okay.
You can escort them up to the port or up to the destination. Yeah.
Now let's talk a bit on the East African level. What challenges have you seen that are there from cross-border movements as we speak right now? We have talked about internally what's going on in your company and all, but now when you take a look on the East African level, are there any challenges that you have seen? Of course, with the help of technology, is going to solve, but currently, what are the main?
Yeah, now, first of all, we have to thank our government,
yes,
of Rwanda, for many different commitments or initiatives that have been put in place, and the East African Secretariat for harmonizing the customs and the other protocol that have been put in place. Yeah. But as an expert who is there, the only one issue which is there, it's about the interface. You see, the customs have been harmonized, but sometimes because of this interface, network issue, then it can happen. Yeah. Then some documents are not reflecting on the other side
in the systems.
The systems. So this is the challenge which is there, but always there are some teams, liaison teams that used to work on them, but it's still sometimes an issue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how do companies like yours navigate custom rules across countries?
Yeah,
because I know there's so many rules in different countries. How do you navigate them?
Yeah, this one is all about to get our staff trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to get trained. That is the awareness to approach our stakeholders, customs or other stakeholders. We approach them to get all the updated rules or informations, and we get always trained. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Earlier when we were talking, we discussed something very important, and maybe you can shed light on it. We're living in a world where people want quick gains. They want to get uploads quick. You're in a sector that is very challenging, that it requires a lot of time and demand. What has helped you have that patience to get this far and be in it for this many years? Because I know it requires patience. You have to be resilient, all these things. What have you had to do?
Yeah, first of all, when you start a company, you have to get goals. You have to get vision. So every time when you are looking for your vision, you cannot get tired until you get to your vision, until you get to your goal. So for those who fail before they get to their vision, I don't think if they have they have well planned or well formulated where they are going. Yeah. Because every time when you know where you are going, and you know where you are going, there are some more important things, there are some wealth. So you cannot get tired. You have to push. Yes. You have to keep pushing until you reach there. Yeah. Yeah. There is projection. If you have projection, you have projected something. So you have to
always have a goal.
To be pushed by it.
So you're saying it's always good to know where you're going before?
It's always good to know where you're going before you start the journey.
So that has kept you motivated to show up even when things are difficult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because always when you're going to start a business or a project, you have it started in you, as I told you, within you. Then the commitment, it started from you, and then you project where you are going, how you are going to reach there, and the cost. You have to also the cost that will be demanding to facilitate you to reach there. So sometimes we want to reach in a place, but we don't want like to take those risks and those costs.
The steps that are
The
required.
steps, yeah.
And then people
and you
give
cannot
up.
jump, then you reach there. There's some cost. There's some cost in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of different things, factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's always a price to pay for everything.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There is a price you have to pay to get important things to get, you see.
I would want to know how has real-time tracking or automated communication helped you specific with your company, especially with your clients? How has it helped in that sector?
Before this tracking system starts, so you know the drivers, sometimes there is even no network alongside the corridors. As you know, we have like this central corridor and the northern corridor from Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. So, and then if you want to give the real update to your client, then you don't find a driver online.
Yes.
Because maybe the place where he is, there is no network. But as we have, so far we have GPS, so and electronic seal. Then you go on your system, your application, you check, and then you update the client, the real place and the real time. You see?
Yes.
But before it was not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, are logistics startups, in your opinion, well supported in the Rwanda tech ecosystem? Because I know we touched on SMEs and all, but now my brain immediately goes to someone who is young and wants to get in your sector. I think really logistics sector is very exciting. But is there like a support system in the Rwandan tech sector?
Yeah, many different infrastructures have been put in place by the government to support all the startup in every single business. There are some infrastructures in terms of incubators, in terms of trainings, in terms of awareness. You see, there are so many different infrastructures that the government of Rwanda have put it in place to facilitate any startup so that it can be easily to start the business. I think even in the Rwanda Development Board, for the young the generation, they put 2 years without paying tax.
2 years. That's
2 years.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, this regulation is there to facilitate the startup, to facilitate the young generation.
That's exciting. So for anyone watching, don't give up on this dream, because I think sometimes people don't know these things, but it's good to research and understand what's going on in the ecosystem. So I would want to know, like, let's imagine a borderless Africa. What would that mean for the logistics sector?
Actually, that one is a very important thing. It means that if we say like borderless, it means that it will enable logisticians. When you say borderless for Africa, it can go with this Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So if we say borderless, we say more trade. When we say more trade, we say it's equal more logistics. More trade, more logistics. So if you say borderless, it will increase trade along the continent.
Yes.
So which means that logistics also will increase, because logistics means that to move the goods from one place to another. So for us, it will be like a very, very beneficial thing. It will be a very important thing for logisticians. They will get more business, and they will get the goods moving smoothly, without any delays. You see, there will be simplification of documentation and process because of borderless. For example, now if you are bringing goods from Zambia or from Zambia to here, you pass it to Tunduma, then Tunduma, you pass it to Lusumo. There are some different formalities. But if we say borderless, it means that all those different borders along the continent will be like the process will be simplified.
Yeah.
And the procedures. For instance, we have what we call one-stop border post for ESC, partner state. We have what we call OSBP. So for OSBP, before the one-stop border post, the process at the border was very like tough, complicated. But for this time, no one is allowed to park the car or the truck more than 30 minutes at the border.
Really?
You have to explain why you are standing there.
Okay.
If you park your truck there, after 30 minutes, you have to explain about that delay. You see?
It's creating a delay, like you said. This is
what we call trade facilitation initiative.
Okay. So now let's bring it back to Songa Logistics. What's your vision in the next 5 years?
Yeah, for my vision for 5 years, it's to build a very big logistics, like a hub, a worldwide logistic hub, in terms of warehousing, in terms of transport, you see, and also I can even plan. I am even planning about to have a logistics academy to train those young generation, so that they can be aware what is going on.
I know it's a sector that is not talked about. That is why we started this podcast, because we're like, when you ask people about logistics, it's Last
time I went I had a partnership with the University of Rwanda, and I met some students that have been given a logistics as a faculty. Then when they got this appointment, they asked their neighbors or their relatives about logistics. Then some of them, they told them that they are going to be storekeepers.
Oh wow!
That's what they told me. Some of their relatives told them that it's about a storekeeper. Then I tried to explain to them how logistics is a very big thing. It's a very worldwide thing. It's a very, you see. Then they start to say, "Wow, we didn't know it before," and then we start to love it. You see, some of them they are working in AGL. There is one guy is now working in a very big logistic company. One among those students we met that time.
I like that it's a big sector, because that creates more opportunities for all these young people that are trying to get into the space or learn more about it. As in the closing reflection, maybe I can ask you, what is your personal vision for a connected and efficient logistics future for Africa in general? What would be the ideal vision you have? So
what I can say for that, we have always to embrace technologies. Yeah, in terms of automation, in terms of AI. So we go by those innovation technologies. We don't let behind.
Yeah.
So we have to go with the technology.
And technology will solve most of the issues that we pinpointed at the beginning.
Yeah, more issues will be solved by technology.
Okay. Now, I'm sure there's someone who is watching and is a young person, admires what you do or has been inspired. What's one piece of advice you can give them that they can take home and think about in case they want to get in this sector?
What I can tell them, logistics is a good career. It's a good sector, which is international. It has many different opportunities. You know, the supply chain covers the goods from the supplier
Yeah.
to the end user. So there are so many opportunities there. Imagine the goods from the origin up to the end user, the process which have been
There's
there.
a
lot of steps, lot
Yes.
of formalities.
Yeah.
So all those formalities, they are opportunities. So it's I encourage each and everyone who want to come in logistics, because it's a good career. That's all.
I want to thank you so much. And I wish you the best with your company. I think you're building something tremendous. Maybe one day I'll get into logistics, who knows, because I've been convinced.
Yeah.
And we hope to have you again.
Yeah,
And
you are well welcomed to our office.
yes,
Yeah.
for more information, where
Yeah,
does
no
someone
problem.
reach you, or for your services, where can someone reach you?
We are very ready to provide any information. Anyone who needs to get more to know more about logistics, he can approach us. Then we can give him any information as an expert.
Okay. Do you have platforms that people can visit to reach you?
Yeah, we have website.
Okay.
Yeah, Songa Logistics, www.songalogistics.rw. We have Instagram, we have Facebook. See,
you're everywhere. And
yeah, we are everywhere.
Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have you here.
Okay.
For all the listeners, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on the next exciting episode here on QuikFret Unlocked, where we discuss real-time, real-life challenges and innovation in the logistics and trade sector in Africa and in Rwanda. Hit that subscribe button and see you soon.